Hi, everyone. This is Janet Hewlett, founder and formulator of Cardio Miracle, and we're delighted to welcome all of our wonderful customers that are like family for a Monday family night with Cardio Miracle with me and my lovely, darling sidekick, the love of my life, Janet.
It's good to see you. I wish we could see you, actually.
We wish we could see you. We've had a couple of little camera issues today, but we hope that you can hear and see us well enough. We appreciate you taking the time to join with us. We have some important things we'd like to share with you. But first, I'd like to we're going to do a little cameo. One of our very, very darling grandchildren, superstar, who's been helping us the last couple of weeks on some of the conventions, Ella Hewlett. She's one of my oldest granddaughters, but we wanted to introduce Ella. She wasn't prepared for this, but she came here, so we thought she should certainly come on and just share a couple of moments about her trip to Chicago and her being involved with 2 conventions the last couple of weeks, and the fun she's had in talking to people about Cardio Miracle and her own Cardio Miracle experience as you're 19.
Yeah.
Almost 20, so as a 19-year-old. So come on over here by Janet. This is Ella.
Hi,
Ella
everybody.
Hewlett.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to talk to you guys, and I just love Cardio Miracle so much. I love what my amazing grandparents are doing, and I recently just moved home from New Zealand. I was a live-in nanny there, and oh my goodness, I give Cardio Miracle all the credit for helping me recover with travel and adjusting to a different time zone and new environments. It just helped my body adjust, and I couldn't thank it more, and I told so many people about it overseas, and I'm so excited to be working with them. And I went to Chicago about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was for the IANS conference, the near-death experience, and all the people there were just the nicest people ever, and I loved working at the booth and kind of telling them the story about Cardio Miracle. And we had my grandpa John and Dr. Avery Jackson as well, and who was a neurosurgeon he works for Cardio Miracle as well. And they just did amazing explaining everything and answering everybody's questions, and it was just so cool to make so many customer connections. And I called them this past week, and a lot of them have been taking it, and they just love it and see instant results with their heart rate going down and blood pressure and their mental stamina, everything. It helps so much. So I'm just so grateful for what my grandparents are doing, and I love Cardio Miracle. I give it all the credit for my recovery and for just all the things that you do throughout the day. And so I'm so happy to be working with them, and it's so good to talk to you guys.
Great. And the curl in your hair.
Exactly.
We're delighted to have Ella. She's going to become our Instagram, TikTok, high view person. So great to have her with us tonight. We wanted to share with you, this is obviously, there's been a lot of challenging things happen in our country in the last month, last week in particular, and so we wanted to do something special for our customers. We've had some amazing experiences with people's ongoing benefits from Cardio Miracle. And you know, we actually have been put into a Senate or an FTC inquiry to be able to have nutritional products like Cardio Miracle to be able to make similar claims as pharmaceutical drugs. And we're in the midst of that, waiting for that to come back. Of course, many of you know about our published science. You can find that on our website or at cardiomiracle.com/studies that you can share with friends about Cardio Miracle's extended nitric oxide, which is what makes us so unique from all the other nitric oxide and other supplements out there, is that we actually were tested in the preeminent lab in the world, Tadeusz Smolinski, the University of Ohio. It's now over 5 years ago, and he proved that Cardio Miracle's formula, when it came in contact with endothelial cells, which are the cells that line the arteries, expressed nitric oxide for 24 to 36 hours. That had never been proven before. And then he also proved that Cardio Miracle helped reduce the free radical peroxynitrite by over 50%, which had never, ever even been thought of that a supplement could add to that kind of benefit. So that's the first published study. And then we had the one from Emergent Analytics, which talked about the benefits of CardioMiracle's formula and ingredients on atherosclerosis, which has to do everything to do with different types of heart and blood issues. And then also in that study, they came up with an amazing determination that CardioMiracle actually helped deliver vitamin D3 more significantly than any other delivery that you could have in taking it in capsule or in liquid form. So that was exciting, and that's, again, a published international study, which was done by Frontiers in Nutrition out of Europe, and that was peer-reviewed, scientifically published. And then a year and a half ago, we had in the Combat Stress Science Journal a study that talked, an article that was peer-reviewed, took a year to get published. They'd never brought in a supplement before to even look at or to put an article in their magazine, their journal. And in that journal, it talked about CardioMiracle's impact on all neurological diseases. That's all. And also mentioned the impact that they felt that deserved more study, the impact on dementia and Alzheimer's. So those types of things were pretty dynamic, and the impact that CardioMiracle, specifically with its ingredients, nitric oxide and also vitamin D3, would have on post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which primarily we think of for veterans, but I would submit that all of us again went into a second dose of PTSD this last week as we've witnessed the horrific events that unfortunately unfolded last week. And then before that, we had the pandemic with the lockdowns and the division and the arguing and all the challenges that have come. So we found that it's really, really important that CardioMiracle can be your go-to to help you overcome a lot of these PTSD, these traumatic influences that are around, as well as the depression. It's very depressing.
Anxiety.
And Janet's an old expert on that.
I am.
She can tell you that Janet and I are coming up on our 12th anniversary, and it's been an amazing thing that she's been a part of CardioMiracle's evolution, so to speak, since then. But tell the folks a little bit about your evolution health-wise, Janet.
Yes, significant. I had depression from the time I was 13 until I started CardioMiracle. I was on medication. And if any of you have dealt with depression, you know that it kind of gets to be a game. You go from one medication that works for a while, then you need to try the next medication. And it's just a big part of your life. That is no longer my life. Getting my vitamin D, having my vitamin D go from a 32, where I had been supplementing massively, and 32 that's as high as it would go. And so I had all kinds of autoimmune issues, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis. And once I went on CardioMiracle, my vitamin D went up to an 84.8 within several months. And
for those of you who don't understand the vitamin D levels, they measure the D in your blood, and if it's less than 30, then it's chronically deficient. Less than 50 is deficient. 50 is considered normal. Headed to 70, 80 is considered optimum. So Janet went from right on the border of chronically deficient, even though she had been taking thousands of units a day for several years.
It wouldn't move the needle.
Barely moving the needle, to when she went on CardioMiracle within a year, it went over 84, which has been amazing. And though it hasn't fixed everything in life, the reality is it's made such an impact on her energy and really not getting sick. Nowhere near what you experienced in the past.
It looks like someone's asking how long I've been drinking CardioMiracle, and it's been
12 years.
Yeah.
12 years on Halloween. She tried her first drink was just after that. Not that she was drinking, but CardioMiracle, because we actually had our first date on Halloween. And I probably gave her a sample sometime the next few days after that because we were working on the samples. So
It didn't take long, though. You notice a difference.
we see a nice increase in 90 days, but most people should take at least 2 servings a day if they're vitamin D deficient. So that was Janet's experience. And then my own was the fact that I haven't been sick and missed a day of work now in 18 years. Since actually July, it was August of 2007, which is when I first started taking the nitric oxide supplement. So that's pretty remarkable. I've been tired a few days and probably didn't feel 100%, but it's really been pretty amazing. And just like today, we just drove 4 hours and we're going to be going busy all day with lots of things. And at this stage of life, it's a wonderful thing. One of the things that we found, Jan, lately, that how important Cardio Miracle is for caregivers. So we talk about, you experienced it being a caregiver from the time you were in your late 20s when you had, unfortunately, a handicapped son.
Very severely handicapped son. And we see this all the time with women in general, that they are the caregivers, and we get so used to, as women, taking care of people that we forget that we need to take care of ourselves. And the whole ship goes down if you're not taking care of yourself. So we see a lot of people that will order, I need to order this for my husband. It's like, get it for yourself.
Get it for yourself.
Get it for yourself.
And then if there's extra money, get it for your husband.
Then throw him in too.
So hopefully he can have some too. But no, it's really true. And from the caregiving standpoint, obviously there's single parents, single mothers. There's the trauma of raising little children, not much sleep, the trauma of teenagers. I have a couple of post-teenagers here that are now considered adults, the challenges of dealing with children, grandchildren, loved ones. But, the fact is we have death, we have divorce, we have trauma, we have economic issues, we have all kinds of bad news online, we hear of wars, we have earthquakes, we have pestilence. There's a lot of challenging things out there, and one of the great things about Cardio Miracle is the vitamin D is considered the happy vitamin, and it actually helps elevate people out of that depression situation. So it can't solve all your problems, but it certainly can elevate your mood, and we've
take
seen
you
that.
off your, well, for me, I no longer needed medication.
And that's a big deal. It's been exciting. We've had some brand new affiliates from our last couple of weeks. We've had podcasters. We actually had one gentleman who joined us, Scott Drummond, whose podcast on his near-death experience that he experienced when he was 28 years old, and that was like almost 45 years ago. Scott had brain fog, and he also had migraines. Since 28, he had a near-death experience. He was hit while he was skiing by somebody going down the hill out of control and ended up ripping his thumb off. And then when he went in for surgery, they messed up the anesthetic and he died. That was his near-death experience. He came back from that miraculously enough. And 10 years later, he was hit by lightning on a golf course. So he has had the double whammy.
That could cause a few headaches.
Could cause several headaches. And Scott, for example, he's had over 25 million views. You can find it on YouTube, Scott Drummond Near-Death Experience. Well, he went on Cardio Miracle less than a month ago, and brain fog is now gone. He's off several medications, and his headaches are gone. How good is that? He couldn't have been happier. It's given him his life back in many ways. We have another great one of our advocates, Lance Merrill. Lance he was hang glidings and head-on collisions. I was reading his book over the weekend. He launched a car at 100 miles an hour over 120 feet off a cliff and survived. Had some headaches over the years and had some issues with painkillers. And he also, now being about 70-ish, he's actually been able to go off his blood pressure medications, multiple other medications and supplements. But one of the other exciting things is, those are some of the just current from people who are now joining us, in our effort. But Jen, we've heard a few stories about people weaning themselves off of energy drinks and even caffeine.
Caffeine. Well, Lance was on 7 cans of
He said
Mountain
6 or
Dew.
7 cans of Mountain Dew a day. We actually have one of our team, one of our consultants, who was drinking 4 to 5 Monster or energy drinks a day with 150 milligrams of caffeine in that. We've also had a couple of ladies who said, I'll never give up my Coke Zero or whatever, and they've actually gone off 3, 4 a day that they felt that they were pretty much hooked on.
Well, that was also part of my life before, too. I mean, you...
Janet,
yeah,
no, I
yeah.
didn't.
Go
Now
figure.
I know.
Go
Now
figure.
I learned. And what was your drink of choice?
Oh, my gosh. Well, there were a few,
Tab?
There were a few Monster drinks
Few
in
Monster.
there.
Oh, that's right.
There were a few.
You told me that. You
Yeah,
were doing,
yeah.
she was doing the treadmill and
I mean, you
walking
do-
and doing the
when-
Monsters.
When you are suffering and you have no energy, you kind of do what it takes to get by, to get through. So not needing that is...
I don't think I've ever seen you drink a Monster drink.
No. There's no
You're
need.
married to
I'm
sort of
married
a monster. so those are the kinds of stories that we're seeing every day. But in the caregiver side, everyone, if you have somebody you love who you don't want them to get dementia, please get them off of the diet sodas. That's dementia in a can, and get them hooked on Cardio Miracle. Now, I was actually going to bring something today. One of my favorite things that I'm doing now is I take Cardio Miracle. I usually take 2 servings at a time, so I take 4 a day, generally, some days 6 if I'm traveling. Janet takes 2 to 6 a day, depending on her situation. Now, people can get by on 1 if they're in really good health and if they don't have a lot of body mass, and they want just a good little additional benefit. But if you really want to see the measurable results and you want to get off medications and you want to do certain things that are important in your life, then 2 to 4 might make sense for you. That's servings, not the little teeny scoops. So one of the things that we wanted to share with people today is that you can add Cardio Miracle to any fruit juice or any vegetable juice. You can add, one of our team adds a little dash of heavy cream. He says it tastes like a creamsicle to him. It works great on the keto diet. It works great with intermittent fasting, of which I need to go back on. I've gained a few pounds with all of our travel and eating at these wonderful restaurants, unfortunately. But the reality is intermittent fasting and Cardio Miracle actually facilitates autophagy, which is the cells cleaning out the waste material in your cell and turning it into energy. That's why we end up having so much energy on Cardio Miracle, is it's essentially recycling the waste product in our cells and turning it into energy. So it's like, using up your fat to give you energy, but it's actually using the garbage in your cells, which actually helps you through your lymphatic system as well. But one of my favorites, Janet, that I'm using now is buying sparkling water, because I do miss carbonation at times. And I'll take Cardio Miracle. I'll put in a can of sparkling water in a larger container, about 32 ounces. And then I'll put in a bunch of ice in that. And then maybe sometimes I'll even put in one of those, erythritol or stevia drinks that you can put in, mix it with the Cardio Miracle, and mix it again with the sparkling water, and it's a fizzy, nice drink. The other thing that at times that I do is that I'll take some half and half or some heavy cream, and I'll put in some ice, and I'll blend it up, and it's really a frothy, nice, like a smoothie. And you can also mix it with any kind of frozen fruit. Makes for a wonderful, wonderful smoothie. Now, you've heard about protein, perhaps from your calls from our customer service, our world-class customer service. We hope that you'll take the calls from them, because they may be calling with really good news for you. But when they call, they'll often talk to you about how to take it. And it's best to take this before the coffee, before the protein. 30 minutes or so gives it time to get to the system and do its job. Or if you have to have, because caffeine, including coffee, tea, and caffeinated drinks, actually diminish your nitric oxide. So if you do have a caffeine or a coffee habit, all the more reasons you need more Cardio
Just
Miracle.
Give it a try. Take 2 servings and see if you can eliminate.
Yeah, take you can take 2 at a time. You can't
That's what I
overdose.
do.
And if you take that first thing in the morning, and then if you need something during the day, you can take another dose. You can take another one before bed. I find that I take it before bed, and even, strangely enough, it actually doesn't contribute to more bathroom breaks at the nighttime. But you probably want to diminish your water a little bit if you're going to take a dose prior to bed, if that's an issue. I wanted to thank those of you. We've had over 150 customers that, from the outreach from our staff, has extended their shipping. It really helps us. We're actually in our studio in our warehouse facility in South Salt Lake City. And when you do that with our fantastic shipping crew that has made a huge impact, that saves us a significant sum each year, $60 to $80 per customer. If you'll order your Cardio Miracle subscription to come every other month or every third month, it helps us as well if you decide to go to the 180 serving canister or pouch. Actually, it's a pouch on that. And so with that actually saves us as well.
So we can keep our prices down.
I think it's now 7 years, Janet, since we've had an increase, which is how many things have not gone up in price in the last 7 years? It's only because we have done everything we can. We've added improvements to the sweetener and even to the ingredients of Cardio Miracle, even the number of ingredients, including things that help cognitive thinking. But we've also we've gone to the packaging and the pouches. Now, we're doing something special tonight. Tonight, we're offering a thank you, and it's also an inventory reduction because we have several thousand canisters of the 60 and 90 serve of our current formula. And we know that some people like the canisters. We've had to raise the price just slightly on them on some of our online platforms because they cost us more. The pouches helped us keep the price the same. But here's a chance for everyone to buy a few canisters that you can then clean out and then pour your 180 serve pouch into those canisters, which is what we do at our house. Not that we're recycling nuts or great advocates, but it's just a way for us to contribute a little less. Pouches are better. They're more biodegradable in your trash and in the landfill. So we're offering that we can pull up on the screen 3 of our canisters, which would normally cost about $330, plus our 6-pack or $20, which is $350 plus shipping. So about $365 worth of value at retail for $200, 3 60-serve canisters. Now, it gets even better on the 90 serves. We actually have some 90-serve canisters, and we're offering that, 3 of them, normally $149.97, so that's $450, 12 of the other, which would be another $40. Let's see, so we're now at $450, that's $490 plus shipping. So over $500, so almost $200 off for the 3 canisters of the 90s. We want to move those canisters. We want our customers to have the first crack at those canisters so they can use them to pour their 180 serve pouches in. And if you would, please consider when the Cardio Miracle customer service call or call in yourself, use the canisters to store your 180 serve or your 90 serves that may become twice every other month or every third month. That helps us save the shipping so we can hold the line on all of these price increases and all the inflation all around you. So that's the special offer that we're offering tonight, and we're really, really excited to make that opportunity to our customers as a thank you. Kind of as a summer is over, and yet we had no idea we were going to have the challenges, tragedies, and difficulties. I mean, we see, wasn't there an earthquake, Janet, up in Oregon that was a 5.8 or something? We've seen the horrific floods in Texas. We've seen the horrific circumstance in North Carolina this year. We saw the fires in California. I mean, it's just...
We have a lot to deal with, but we also do have an answer. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide this help for you so that you can get through these times.
And this is your best friend. This is hope in a glass. This is something that can make a difference as a caregiver. And if you do have dramatic need, or if you know veterans or disabled people who have just circumstances that are difficult, please email that circumstance care of information or customer support, Cardio Miracle. What's the best email for that? Do we know? Support. Thank you. There's a smart granddaughter when I need her drinking her Cardio Miracle. Support at cardiomiracle.com and tell us your story, and we'll be happy to visit with you and try to make some arrangements, because we want everyone to get the benefit of Cardio Miracle, and we're certainly interested in helping. Oh, another exciting thing is we've got some new veterans initiatives we're working on. We have some Native American things we're working on. These Native Americans and many of our other ethnic races they're depleted in their nitric oxide.
Just
Naturally, their genetics prevent them from absorbing it as much in vitamin D and the nitric oxide. So we want to provide it for them and share with them that there's hope, because there's so many that are having diabetes and heart disease and heart incidents. And there's still, for many of you, I know that this is borderline controversy, but there still is some concern about spike proteins and different outcomes out of the COVID viral situation of several years ago. Cardio Miracle is your best preventative towards those types of problems. It's the best there is. It's scientifically being validated every day, and we're working on different additional clinical work to be able to add that to our scientific studies. But we did scientific studies for a reason, invested over $1 million that we really didn't have to invest, but we wanted to prove the benefits of Cardio Miracle, so it was without question that nobody could question the ingredients or the efficacy or the benefits. And little did we know that we would end up with published international peer-reviewed studies that no other nitric oxide product can talk about. And we're also trying to lead the way in funding those people who have been fighting for our freedoms, fighting for our liberty, fighting for us to have our choice as individuals for our families. But we'd just like to make sure that all the caregivers out there, all the people, and we also are BSCG, Banned Substance Control Group, which is certified at the highest levels. This product has gone through the scrutiny to receive that certification, which means professional athletes, Olympians, any sport, MMA, anything out there that requires drug testing, Cardio Miracle passes the test. There's nothing else like it in the world. We're very proud of that. And for those of you who know my story and my mission, our mission was to create the finest product in the world and give it at the very finest value. Now, our 180 serve on our subscription is $1.27 a serving. $1.27. Now, we see things, Janet, they're now advertising energy drinks because I don't think they're selling as fast as they used to. They're still advertising them 2 for $5.50, 3 for $8. I mean, they're $2.50, $3, $3.50. We're buying bottled water for how much at the airport?
Oh, gosh, $8?
$8 for a bottle of water at the airport. And Cardio Miracle, with 58 of the finest ingredients in the world, $1.27? Seriously, $1.27 a serving. Now, this little outfit today, so they're going to get 180 plus 20, so that's 200 servings for $300. Is that right? 270, 300 servings. Wait, that's That's almost $1 a serving on this 90 serve.
Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's even better than our $1.27. So if you're looking to make the best deal ever, this is the 90 serve or the 60 serve on this special. Get those canisters so you can continue to get that great $1.27 a serving on the subscription with our 180 serve, which has been well received. And the other thing, please call in to customer service, our 800 numbers on the canister, or go to support@cardiomiracle.com and say, yes, I want to help you. I want to help you keep the price down. Please contact me this way to do it. And if you would, because we only are getting 20% of the people we're outreaching to that are picking up our call. Now, we understand that. We don't like to pick up spam calls either. But if you get a chance, you get a text or an email, please call our representative. They're great people. You'll enjoy talking to them. They can give you some good advice and feedback on anything that you may have, and take advantage of this great opportunity on this great sale as our thank you here in September of 2025. The answer is the combat stress article at cardiomiracle.com/studies. In the combat stress article, it addresses Parkinson's and other neurological diseases. It does have an impact on helping to improve and support the neurological function. And we have people who have seen things not progress as quickly. And I would think that the more obvious would be the prevention of that, especially if that becomes something in somebody's family history, could be a concern. There are people, the third leading cause of death is properly prescribed prescriptions and medical errors. There are no deaths attributed to vitamin D overdosing, to my knowledge, anywhere in the world. If it's over 150 on your vitamin D level, give me a call and we'll talk about it. But until it's in the 120 to 150 range, there is the toxicity that's spoken of in some circles, according to the Vitamin D Council and other experts in vitamin D, it's not an issue. So no. I've had people tell me through the years that their thermography or their scans have shown improvement. In my case, I did a thermography 4 or 5 years ago, and then I had done something about 10 years ago, and both of them showed no coronary plaque. So I didn't actually get the specific not angiogram, but I didn't get the CAT scan when I went into the hospital in 2007. It was kind of a traumatic situation, and so I never really ever went back. I had no reason to go back or to dig into that particular recommendation, which the cardiologist made in my behalf. But I do have a family history of my uncle, his first heart attack was at 52. A cousin died at 49. My father died in his sleep at 62, and my grandfather had heart failure at 66. So now that I'm in my 74th year, 73 and a half years old, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And so I would say that the science in our scientific paper would basically say that there is a highly supportive attribute to our ingredients to helping ameliorate plaque in the arteries. The most difficult is in the carotid arteries. And that same test that showed my coronary arteries were clear showed that I had a 25% carotid, and I had a femoral that I think was 27%. So I wasn't plaque-free in my entire body, but the report was that the coronary arteries were clear. Of course, I think we've moved like 5 times since then, so I don't even have any idea where that scan is. But the reality is the science would tell us that there's tremendous improvements. We had an interesting, a couple of things. We're seeing a lot of AFib that seems to have developed in the last couple of years since the pandemic And we're hearing lots of very positive things from users of our product. Really at every convention, wherever we are with customers, a lot of people are mentioning that they've seen some wonderful positive steps in the AFib situation. And the other thing is I've had actually a couple of very good reports from people, very credible, that talking about their calc score, which is the calcium level in the heart tissue. They've seen that go down over a period of time. And then we've also seen a lot of things on the ejection fraction, which is the ability of the heart to pump. We've seen unbelievable experiences with that improving with people, as well as the GFR, which is the kidney function. We've seen more than dozens and dozens of wonderful, wonderful results with that. It's common sense. This isn't a medical claim. It's just common sense. If you're healing and improving inflammation in microcapillaries, then wherever microcapillaries are should benefit. That's the kidneys, that's the lungs. People see their oxygen improves. When they see in their capillaries, their macular degeneration, their periodontal disease, the irritable bowel, the Crohn's disease, the different aspects of the lower intestinal tract. We had one of our great new affiliate influencers. The wife said that she had had acid reflux and problems in her stomach and intestines forever, and yet was continuing to drink diet caffeine sodas. And now she's able to go off that, and she's finding that her other issues are starting to diminish. So when you help rid your body of inflammation, which the ingredients in Cardio Miracle are in tune to do, you're going to see good things happen. And if you go online, everybody, I know it's a world of AI now, go to Chat or Guac or Gork or whatever it is that Musk is selling. Go to one of those AI things, put in your condition and put in nitric oxide. Put in your illness and put in vitamin D deficiency. If you do that, you'll be stunned, because every time it'll come up and say, there is a connection between dysregular endothelial cells and nitric oxide and that disease. It'll say that almost every single time, because every system in the body is dependent upon the regulation of nitric oxide and the delivery of vitamin D3. And that's what we do. And so any question that you may have, and I have this, I do this 4 or 5 times a week where somebody gives me a name of some condition that I've never even heard of, and let alone could spell, and I go on Chat, and I find right there every time, there's always a connection to not enough effective nitric oxide and not enough vitamin D3. How many times have we done that, Jen? Hundreds.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just right there for everyone to do. So do your research, and you'll find out those answers are there. Here's Janet. Janet would have been dead 11 and a half years ago.
You know what? I really don't think I would be around without it. No, 4 servings a day is my minimum.
It's a good thing I have an insight on good deals.
Yeah.
Janet's my biggest customer. She drinks more than I do, and I should drink more. But I'm back up to about 4 or 6 a day because I'm trying to get in better condition to survive all these turmoil. These days of turmoil. Tumultuous. There we go. Absolutely, because you look at limes, and there's a bacteria involved, but that would be another case where vitamin D3 is essential for the Lyme's victim. One of the things that people often don't understand is that most autoimmune diseases, or most diseases, are merely a group of symptoms that people have experienced that somebody isolated and said, this is what we're now going to call it. And that's what diseases are called. So it really all comes back in most cases to inflammation, maybe bacteria, the breakdown of the cells, the capillaries, mitochondrial dysfunction, but really the endothelial cell, which is the one cell thick lining that produces nitric oxide, is really the most important, almost as important as the heart, to the regulation of all the systems of the body. And that's what nitric oxide does. It comes from the endothelial cell, but it heals and regulates the nitric oxide through the whole body, which is really, really important. And every year we're learning more and more things of why it's so important. And so that's why a lot of people, say, how did somebody like you come up with something like this? I don't claim any special educational background. I just studied, talked to a lot of people, spent hours and hours in the lab, reading, researching, and following intuitive spiritual guidance, essentially. Judy Mikovits said it was a download from God. I'll accept that. I'm happy to have that. I'm grateful that somebody as flawed as myself could come up with something that's given people so much life and so much benefit. I'm very humbled by that. And that's why we feel a responsibility. We want to take this to the world. We want to take this and help save races of people. We want to take this to the parents of the autistic. We want to take this to the parents of sickle cell and other kids, cystic fibrosis. All of these things can benefit from Cardio Miracle. Young mothers can benefit from Cardio Miracle. Grandmothers and grandfathers. We were just talking to the owner of our building, and he was commenting to one of our team that he's now getting around better taking his Cardio Miracle. He's more mobile, even though he's had horrific health problems, and basically is a cancer victim that is not expected to live very long. He's already seen benefits on his mobility, on his energy. I mean, what's that worth? Is that worth $1.05 or whatever this is on this sale? Is that so $1 a drink? Is that worth energy? Maybe preventing Alzheimer's and dementia? Maybe being able to endure through sleepless nights and a country in turmoil and division and problems? My goodness, that's a pretty cheap solution for things that all the things it does. Plus, if you get off your prescriptions and you don't have to go on dialysis and you don't have to spend your day taking care of your companion or parents or grandparents with dementia, everyone should be buying this for their family members that they love and care about. Don't wait until they're on dialysis and their life is over, or they have dementia and everybody's life is over. Why not invest in something that makes sense? And if it doesn't work in 60 days, send it back. We'll refund your money. I don't know why everyone doesn't try that. And yet we have so few people, and most of the time they go, well, I didn't like the flavor. Well, then put in a can of Mountain Dew in it. I mean, what the heck? Or take it and mix it up with some half and half, or put in apple cider vinegar if it's too sweet. People go, well, it's too sweet. Put it in a gallon of water, and then it'll be like vitamin water. It won't taste like anything.
Those are few and far between.
I know, but it's really interesting. People go, I mean, my goodness, I think if it, because it would taste really bad if we wouldn't have worked hard on it, but my goodness, most things that are really good for you taste terrible. This tastes pretty darn good. Mix it with a few of the things that I said, and it's delightful. You love it. I love it.
Sorry, but I do.
But I like it with a little fizz. So that's why I now put sparkling water that I can buy for 40 cents a can, that has no calories, that has no caffeine. I dump that in with it, put it with ice, and I feel like now I'm having a treat. And I don't have to go spend $2 at the local convenience store for a drink that's bad for me. Makes sense to me. Is there a problem or whatever taking K2 with the D3? We have K2, we have D3, we have K1, we have everything you need. You don't need to take K2 or 1 or D. You don't have to take C anymore. You don't have to take the B vitamins.
You might want to add the omegas.
You add omegas, obviously oils, fish oils, natural oils are also helpful. Okay, there's a question about arrhythmias. I thought I answered it sooner. People are reporting wonderful things who are concerned about arrhythmias. The other thing is the Cardio Miracle does improve the blood viscosity, makes it slippery. So one of the challenges that people are concerned about with strokes is having a big blood clot or something break off, or plaque breaking off. When your viscosity of your blood is slippery, then that reduces that significantly as that. And then there was another question about the spike protein and the impact. I thought I addressed that as well. Cardio Miracle, in my opinion, and the ingredients thereof are the best thing as a therapeutic to try to deal with potential damage from the spike protein and even to the point of its replication or future damage. I think if you have a concern about spike protein, I'd be taking 2 to 4 servings of Cardio Miracle every day. Due to the time restraints, it's not Janet's bedtime, but it's getting there. But we've been driving all day, and she needs to go see her daughter who just had some surgery. So I'd just like to thank everybody for being on the call. If you give it to, send your questions to support@cardiomiracle.com. We'll have somebody respond to those questions. We love and appreciate you. That's why we're having this conference, this family night offer to our people that we love. We're trying to do everything possible to make Cardio Miracle affordable, convenient, tastes great, and we're always not satisfied to try to take it to the next level. The pouches have been very helpful on a cost standpoint, but we've actually had some challenges with that transition as well. But it's made it helpful for us, and that's why we think it's great for every household to get a few of these canisters so that you have them to be able to pour your 180 pouches in. Because they do get they're a little large to deal with, and it's a lot easier to keep, maybe in the pantry, the 180, fill up your 90 or 60 canister every few weeks and deal with it that way. It might make it a little easier for you, and that's part of what we do. So, Janet, is there anything you'd like to add in conclusion to our wonderful customers?
It's just that we do really appreciate you, and you are why we do what we do. And when we learn of something that we can add, that's why we've added, I don't know how many ingredients we started out with when we were first married.
Probably 42 or something. We probably added 15 or 16 ingredients.
But when we learn of something new and something that's really going to make a difference, we do our best to add it.
I think we're on Cardio Miracle number 8 version of upgrades. And we're right in the middle of some additional flavoring things. So we're always looking of ways to make it better. We do not take for granted that we've arrived. Science is emerging. It's been wonderful to know that through extensive scientific testing and data, they tested the ingredients of Cardio Miracle, the functions of those ingredients, over 700 functions against over 15 million research data points, and they found that all of the ingredients work harmoniously together. The scientists were shocked, and that was a couple of years ago. So we feel like we have something that everyone should know about it. We would love to have you buy this, sell it to your neighbors. Don't sell it on eBay. Please don't sell it on eBay. That causes grief among our affiliates. This is an offer for our customers' personal use and their loved ones, family, and friends only. Please honor that for us, because we need to protect our wonderful influencers and advertisers that work with us as well. So we love and appreciate you. Thanks for being with us. Sorry for the rambling. There's a new video screening thing. Thankful for all those who helped make it happen today, and we look forward to being in touch. Please help us with the subscription every other month, every third month. Look at the 180 serve. Take advantage of this sale. Stock up a little bit. You never know in this crazy world when you're going to wish you had an extra canister or two of Cardio Miracle for somebody you love or somebody who needs it. So we hope you take advantage of it. Thanks so much for being with you. And thanks to all those who've made Cardio Miracle the #1 supplement, nitric oxide, vitamin D supplement drink in the world.